So yeah, I got a little bit of news chat. Something that has been brewing for a while. Um, it's something that's been brewing up for a while. Pretty much all year I've been. Okay, let me start from the beginning of the year. Some of you might know I've been like heavily looking for new job. I just realized I've got like my second webcam up in front of me and I keep looking at it, but it's not on. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, so I've been looking for like new jobs for a while now. I don't want to go into too much detail on what I currently do. I will be fully comfortable disclosing that and talking about it after I've left the current profession that I'm in. But that's not just yet. But yeah, no. I've been looking at like getting into a different line of work. Recently over this last year, I think I started really pushing myself to try and find something in January. But the line of work, I kind of came to the realization of like, well, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. That was the number one hurdle that I needed to get around. I needed to have like kind of a think and be like, what am I good at? What could I see myself going into? Like, what has future goals and aspirations and like a path forward, right? Like, instead of just doing the same thing over and over and over again, let's make a positive change and focus. So I had a long time kind of thinking about that at the beginning of the year, and I started applying for various engineering jobs and other stuff in the engineering sector, which is something I've never done. The only bit of engineering I've probably ever done is Kerbal, Minecraft, that sort of stuff, right? Maybe computer engineering. I've done computer engineering. I've built my PC. I've worked as a set builder on like amateur dramatics and things like that. But I mean, like, in terms of industry, like professional engineering, I've never done anything like that. So I started looking at that. There were a few jobs that kind of like propped up, and I had a few interviews, and it kind of, I think a lot of them came down to the wire, but I wasn't successful, and for a while it kind of had the opposite effect mentally to what I thought it was going to do. I thought even if I failed, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's just keep going. At least I'm making a change, at least I'm making the effort. But it actually had the opposite effect. It kind of like made me a little bit more reserved and I don't know, it not necessarily very optimistic. Like I went very negative thoughts, like of I'm gonna be stuck doing the same thing forever and I'm gonna be old and miserable. But anyway, that's beside the point. So yeah, so then we kind of went through a period in like March time, April time, when I kind of like gave up looking for jobs. And then I kind of like had another brief spell in like May of applying, and then June came around and I kind of was already leaning this way. I've been leaning this way for a long time, and I was thinking, well, what are the reasons why I'm not getting picked for jobs in like engineering or any like sort of heavy labor stuff? And that's because I don't have the qualifications, right? So I think it was the end of July, when I turned 30, I decided I'm at the point now where, I mean, we're always at this point, right? You're only ever going to get older. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm no longer in my 20s, I'm in my 30s. I realize that's still young, but the amount of youth that I have left is a lot less than I am happy with. So I've kind of I made the decision back in June to sign up for a university course in engineering. I'm going to be doing a degree in engineering. It's just a bog standard engineering degree. It doesn't have any fancy titles or anything like that. For the most part, the reason why that's the case is because I'm doing it part-time through the Open University, and the Open University are a modular university in the United Kingdom where you do modules and work on credits, and then you get just a blanket general degree. You don't get a specialized degree, so I'm not going to be getting like a mechanical engineering degree or an aerospace engineering degree or a civil engineering degree. I'm going to get just a generic engineering degree. Because that was the most accessible and the most affordable for what I wanted to do. If I wanted to do something, because again, the reason why I've kind of gone down that route is because I don't know. I know vaguely engineering is where I want the direction that I want to head in. Ideally, maybe aerospace or something like that, but I generally don't know whether I'm going to be suited to that. Like, I might find another type of engineering is more up my street and alley. So there was a lot of pros to doing it with the Open University. So yeah, what does this mean? What does this mean for the stream? So I've kind of kept this under wraps for a while because I knew that as soon as I start studying, that's it for streaming. I don't think I'm going to be able to manage the time, stream, work, and study. I'm already limited on time. Like, I don't get to stream as much as I would like. But at the end of the day, streaming is a hobby, right? It's not a job. It's not a profession. I'm not earning money from it. If I look at it from a business point of view, then it's a failure. Like, the business is a failure. It always has been, right? If you look at it from a business point of view. So it's not a business, it's a hobby. Was a while ago, but I can recommend the OU based on your own experience. Yeah, no, I've already had a lot of positive things with the OU so far. I've met a lot of really cool people and stuff. But in terms of streaming, so until Christmas, I think, unless I can find time elsewhere, the only days I will stream are probably going to be Saturdays. We'll be doing 3 hours of a game and then 3 hours of Phoenix. So it'll be a 6-hour stream every Saturday. I might be able, like, if because the beginning of the university, like, I've kind of looked through a lot. Like, this is what I've been doing this week, by the way. I've been going through all of the book textbooks, trying to figure out what I'm going to learn over the next year, and see, like, plan out time management and things like that, so that I know when to do studying, when to work, and I've even broken down, like, when do I eat? How much time am I allowed for eating? That sort of thing. I've gone highly time management efficiency. Usually you don't know where you end up. It helps with motivation to have a goal. Well, okay. Well, I do have a goal. I'm not going to tell you what the goal is because it's a personal goal. And I don't... Yeah, I don't want to disclose that. So I do have a goal. But I'm also open to that goal changing. Like, I'm open to the direction moving into a different area or whatever. But yeah, I do have a goal. I've got a very clear goal in my head, but it might be a little bit out of my reach. I don't know. We'll see. But again, it's a personal goal, and I don't want to disclose what that is. I haven't disclosed that to anyone. So, but yeah, that is giving me that goal was the motivation to start learning, right? Start learning again. It's been 10 years since I did any studying as well, so I'm very nervous about whether or not I'm going to be able to have the time management and still have the ability to learn. Like, So yeah, I'm very nervous. But yeah, so for the next week, the next few weeks, I don't officially start the university course until the 2nd of October, which is next Saturday. That's when the university week 1 commences, on the Saturday, weirdly enough. I will potentially stream intermittently next week, but then after that, we'll go on to a Saturday-only schedule, and pick up a stream as and when I have the time, which has kind of been how I've streamed in the past, but with my off hours when I get home from work, priority number 1 was always streaming. That's now changed, so priority number 1 is studying. So yeah, probably not going to see as much of me playing as much as I have in the last couple of years. Which is very sad, because I've been streaming for like 6 years, right? And mostly on a consistent basis. So the fact that I'm having to maybe potentially drop streaming. Again, if I can figure out good time management, then I might be able to pick up a little more hours for streaming, but yeah, I'm not going to be in the position where I'm going to be able to do like 9+ hour streams anymore, apart from on the Saturday. If I do stream during the week, it might be like the short creative streams, for like building Lego kits and that sort of stuff, as and when I get a Lego kit, just to burn off a little bit of steam for recreation purposes. So yeah, I'm also thinking that I might do some like reading streams where we, as a stream, we read through some like non-affiliated OU, like something not affiliated to my studies, but something that involves engineering, and we just like read through bits together. Study first sounds like a good plan. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, like, I'm open to that idea. I think that could be quite interesting. It'd be a very different type of stream, though. My voice is going. It would be a very different type of stream to what I've done in the past. Gameplay is probably going to drop quite considerably. So yeah, that was pretty much heads and tails of it, is the fact that I'm more than likely not going to be streaming as frequently as I have in the past. Because usually per week I stream about 3 times a week, right? I managed to have enough time for 3 times a week do a little bit of streaming. I don't think I'm going to have that much time. You can now only stream in the weekends, yeah. Well, I might open Sundays. I don't know, I kind of like... So Sundays have always been a day where I can kind of do something just for me, where I detach myself from the internet and things. But Sundays will become probably overlap studying day. So yeah, that as of next week, there will be very little streams. Unlike Animal. Yeah, and that's it moving forward. And I'm going to be doing this for like 6 years. So, yeah, this could mark the end of this stream. I mean, like, I might find that there's passion elsewhere and I just don't have the time to do this anymore, unfortunately. 6 years, yeah. Yeah, it's a big commitment that I've jumped into, because it's part-time as well, right? So normal university degree lasts about 3 years, but because I'm doing it part-time, so you double the amount of time that it would take to finish your studies. So that's why it's a 6-year course sign. And then if I want to do masters, then it's probably another 2 years on top of that. depending on what I want to do. Now, I'm not doing the full degree. I'm actually only doing the certificate, so that's the first 2 years. But I'm predicting that I'm going to stay on and carry on doing it all the way to the degree. And then probably the masters. But we'll see. Anyway, that's plans for the future. I'll be honest, I kind of wished I'd have started doing that. Doing studies took 4 full years. Did you do it full time though, Cyan? If you did it full time, like if you're doing like 36 hours a week of studying, then yeah, that four years is acceptable. Whereas, yeah, so you did it full time. Whereas I'm doing it part time, so you only put in like 16 hours a week. Because I work full time, so I don't have 2 lots of 32 hours in the week without cutting down my sleep so much that it's painful. I mean, I suppose you could do it that way. I could do a full-time education and full-time work. But yeah, that is the very core of what the Open University does, Cyan. They do part-time university courses, not full-time. It's not full-time education, it's part-time. It's stuff that is designed so that you learn and do your studies during work, like whilst working full-time. So yeah, it's going to take a long time. It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment. Are there any questions or anything that people are wondering about? Like, I'm not sure if I've missed anything out. Depends on study, but you might lose a few weekends as well, yeah. Definitely you lose a few weekends. Yeah, I'd have to completely... Well, all the weekends would be lost to do full-time work and full-time education. You wouldn't have any spare time. Had some day courses, etc., and exams. I don't have any exams in the first module. I've got assessments that we have to do. I think there's a residential thing where we have to kind of like go and do a work placement for a while. For like 3-4 weeks or something. Later on down the line on the course. So yeah, anyway, that's the plan for the future. It's going to be a big change. I've been very excited. Like I said, I've got all my core books and stuff now, and I've already started reading through them. Even though the course hasn't started, I've already started studying. I don't think I've been this motivated to do something like in a long time. So it's quite nice to find something that I really wanted to do. And like I don't know if I said, but I kind of wish I'd have done this like 3 years ago. Made the choice 3 years ago. Wish you the best of luck. Yeah, no, that's yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well. I'm kind of hoping I'll be okay. I think the biggest hurdle for me is probably organization. Like, I've got to make sure my organizational skills are there. That's my biggest worry, is organization and time management skills. Because sometimes I procrastinate real bad. It's a matter of like cutting that out. No more RimWorld. Can't play RimWorld anymore. Because if you start on RimWorld, that's it. Okie dokie, chat. I'm gonna go and get something to eat. I'm gonna take like a 10-15 minute break, and then I'll come back and we'll play something a bit different. Play something a bit different. I'm not sure what we could play though. I haven't thought that far ahead. So start thinking about what you want us to play when I come off my break. Because I didn't think that far ahead. I'll be back in a sec.